Yeah, guys, so out here today we just got the Ascent. I've been working on it. Got a 1200 SE in it. And it looks like my batteries and my transmitter are going dead. We're going to let it beep. So if you hear that noise, it's just my transmitter beeping. This 1200 has so much better control because of the extra little bit of slop that's in the drive line. I honestly think Redcat would have done better going with the 1200 SE instead of the 1800 in their Fusion Pro, unless they've done something else with the Fusion Pro transmission, because yeah, the 1800 just has a little extra. It's just a little on the downhill, it would lose control, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. I gotta find some batteries. Now, what I was saying, if you have an Ascent, and we'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a little bit, the downhill, it just had this notchiness to it with the 1800 that the 1200 just does not have. So I think Redcat would have done a little better going with the... Can I get myself out of it? I actually drove off the wood. Looking at the camera. So I think they would have done better going with the 1200 SE system, because it's the 1800, I'm pretty sure, that's in them. So I wouldn't mind getting my hands on one of the carbon fiber chassis for this truck, but I modified this thing. We're going to get the same line that the UGRC was on. This thing stays completely planted. It doesn't have any torque twist up. That's what I like about this truck. You don't got to deal with that torque twist stuff at all, really, with it. Or at least for me, I haven't. I'm running minimal weight in the front. The only thing I have is like the portal cover weights. And the rest of it's just aluminum Trio knuckles, because I modified the plastic ones to get so much steering out of it that I knew I was going to break them. So I went with the Trio aluminum here in the front of it, because I modified them as well. And then my buddy bent the steering link in the front, and I have like stupid steering for this thing. So these wheels are not weighted. They do have weight in them with the inserts, because the Endura inserts are a little heavy. And this is what I was talking about on the downhill. This thing is super nice and slow. It would not do this before with the 1800 in it. It just had like a notchy down, like it would, you couldn't keep your throttle nice and steady downhill with it. So this 1200 just works way better in this, and it's still got plenty of wheel speed, and it's all stock gearing, so I didn't have to play with my gearing at all. Now, if you wanted to, you could probably go up a tooth on this, and it probably wouldn't affect the smoothness of the 1200 any downhill. And you can probably get an 1800 and just gear yourself down just a little bit, and it probably would do the same thing. But I put my 1800 in a different truck, and the way this thing's geared to 1200 really has plenty enough, you know, if you need a burst of wheel speed to get up over anything. And everybody always says about the Redcat axles getting caught and hung up. I've noticed these axles seem to slide better, in my opinion, than the TRX4 does. I've noticed the TRX4 axles right here in this spot. If you watch the video I put up the other day of the UGRC truck, it gets caught up on those little sharp edges, and it's just a good test spot to see if your axles are going to slide. Of course, they make a bunch of different stuff for the TRX4 to alleviate that problem too. So we're gonna get up here on our pull-up spot and see how she transitions over onto this. Sorry about the camera moving around. Once again, I'm not using my gimbal. Nope, that was I missed the line. So we're gonna get that one again. See if I can get up on it. And I missed the line again. I pulled this up a second ago. And we'll just go with it for the viewing. That way we're not fiddling, farting around. But this truck just works really well. This truck generated love, it generated hate. My buddy had an Ascent, he just couldn't get himself happy with it. So what I was saying was the Losi Mini T pink shock springs in the front of this thing brought the front end down, and then I just modified the axle housing a little bit with my Dremel to do away with that push where it lifts your suspension up on it. I think I've got videos on the channel here if anybody just looks at my Ascent content. Yeah, this thing's just working really, really well. There's that giant bee of death. I don't know if it's... No, if there's two of them over there. Oh man, those things are huge, man. I think they're European hornets is what they are. But let me see if I can get over here for you guys. Get a better pull up on this. Is where same lines that we took with the UGRC truck yesterday or the other day in the video. I'm just trying to get all my performance rigs set up. There's that bee. I don't know if it's picking it up. There's two of them. There it is. Man, I don't know what that thing is. It's freaking gigantic. But I'll stay away from those freaking things. So if I wouldn't have built this, I'd have set the whole tree on fire. But back to the Ascent here. It generated a lot of love, a lot of hate. I think with your setup, I was watching the camera and missed my line there, but we're going to make this, I think, in one whole pull, which is pretty impressive on this spot. And I think I'm going to be able to make the whole turn in because of the extra steering angle this truck has to get us set up here for this spot. Alright, and I got to be over here to see what I'm doing here, but I didn't even have to back up, so I got to stop the camera here so I can keep the whole trucking frame going down this. So, and I made this whole pull up a second ago. Let's see if this thing will nice and gently and smooth and easy. This truck even makes this a lot more effortless than the UGRC truck. That's where I was hanging off the ledge in that other video with it. So I'm reconfiguring the UGRC truck a little bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm clear on the outer edge of this thing and it's riding it really well. I wasn't even that far out with the UGRC truck, so I don't know. We'll make this whole peak ride here. I got to catch that one rock. If it goes to come down nice and easy. This is the only truck I got that'll ride this complete outer edge. Sorry guys, a bee swarming me here. And my rock slipped off on me, but look how well this thing's balanced. That was the rock fell. So my rock fell off of that. I just placed it back where we were at. My rock just fell down The rock wouldn't have fell, the truck would have been made it out of that. So I need to get some concrete in there because the liquid nails just isn't holding it down. So we're going to ride this down, and then this is going to be nothing for this truck. Yeah. And we're going to get up here on our other rock. We're going to make our pull up here and get up on the pipe. So this one's working a little bit better than the UGRC truck, honestly. And I gotta be on this outside. And then we're gonna run this pipe up. I'm guessing this truck will make the pipe now. I gotta get my back tire in position now. There we go. Yeah, and then we'll run the pipe up. Oh, yeah. Never mind the commentator in the background. We run the pipe. We just went ahead and come down here. I'm going to see how it makes the 8-ship climb. Now that the tires are getting wet. Now this wood's drying out a little bit out here today, so it should make this a little easier. Yeah, I think it's going to make it a lot easier, actually, with the dry wood. Plus, these pin tires eat this stuff up really well. Yeah, this truck just works so well. These tires and wheels got about the right offset for it. It's not too wide. It's not too narrow. I am running the Club 5 +2, which is an 8mm hex for the Redcats. And I could probably just drive straight up this with no biggie whatsoever. We're just going to film the whole pull up from down here, guys. So, and I dropped myself down in that hole, but I got out of it. You got to ride that outer edge on that side and try to keep. Come on. If it was a little drier. There we go. And that was pretty good for just one pull. So the 1200 is working way better on this truck than the 1800 ever did. And we're going to make our ascent here. Ascent on the hill. I'm going to get up here and film for you guys. We're going to go up the steep pipe bridge. We're going to go up the steep bridge here. All right. We're going to make our bridge pull up here. Working fantastic. I let her slide too far. But it was just I needed a little less punch with this, well, a little less wheel speed than the 1800 was giving me here. And this thing still has plenty of go to get up if you need the wheel speed, the little bit of zap. So I'm just trying to get all my trucks dialed in. Finally, since I can get out here to the course. There's a little extra like just a little bit of slop in the driveline transmission on these Ascents. And I noticed the 1800 starting to rain on me out here. I don't know how much more I'm going to get filming, but at least I know that I do got this thing pretty well dialed with the 1200 in it. And these are the tires I prefer from Endura. I really do prefer these pins for this stuff with the Endura blue inserts in it. And this truck is running the Unfair Advantage link riser in the back. But you can see it just doesn't lift in the back at all. And I've changed my geometry around with some super high clearance links in the back from a Wraith that I had laying around. They're actually Axial brands. But this thing is just phenomenal. This truck just works so well in this setup. And I just set it up redneck style. Nothing pretty and fancy, just something to work. Gonna get some LED lights for it. And I'm not running all the way down here because this is nasty mud. So, alright, I'm gonna stop it here and reset in another spot.